Well, thanks for joining us on BloombergQuint. I'm in conversation with Ashish Gupta. He's a brand director for Volkswagen India. We'll be talking about company's 2.0 strategy, how it's going along. It's newly, it's focused on the sedan, the fading sedan segment, and EV plans. Ashish, thanks for your time and speaking to BloombergQuint.
Thank you, Nishant.
Let's take a quick update on how is the India 2.0 strategy going on.
I think it's been brilliant. I would say the first product from us, at least from our brand, hit the market with the Taigun in September, and since then it's been going from strength to strength. And with the Virtus Premier today, I think it's the culmination of the entire strategy that has been put in place for the last 4 years. But having said that, it's one thing bringing the car to the market, but it's a long way to go to make sure that these cars reach the potential that they have.
Right, but what kind of volumes you have seen so far? Has the 2.0 strategy? I know this is going to be the second product, but what are
Yeah.
the first product? What kind of volumes are you
So
clocking?
if you look at the Taigun, it's been an overwhelming success. You've seen it from all around the customers as well. And if you look at any of the media reviews or from the customers itself, it's been overwhelmingly positive. If I talk about bookings, we've got more than 20,000 bookings so far. Unfortunately for us, we have delivered only 12,000, but
Okay.
that's got more to do with the supply side. So demand continues to be strong. Yeah. So very happy with the response it has got. And I'm sure it will go from strength to strength from here.
And what are the key pain points that you have solved as part of the 2.0 strategy?
Hmm.
What has gone as part of the overall? How is that also shaping how you're viewing the future ahead for the company?
Okay, so there was I would say that there was a need to refresh the product portfolio that we offered in the Indian market. Having said that, even the Polo and the Vento, even though they are more than 10 years in the market, still continue to be in demand. But at the same time, in line with the movement of the brand worldwide, we needed to bring in new technologies. We needed to bring in new features into our cars, and that's why the India 2.0 products were very important. With this, now we have a very young and fully refreshed portfolio in India. In fact, the Taigun was just launched 4 months ago. We
Mhm.
just introduced the Tiguan in January this year, and the Virtus is going to hit the market
Mhm.
by end of May. So completely refreshed portfolio, and that gives you the base
Mhm.
to actually go from strength to strength in the market in the
And
upcoming years.
some may call it an unconventional bet on focusing on a sedan space. Now seems like an SUV market in
Yeah,
India.
yeah.
What gives you the confidence
Yes,
and the
definitely.
volumes?
Definitely the SUV body style has been the body style of preference for customers over the previous years. But if you look at the sedan body style, that's how a car is traditionally defined. If I ask you or you ask me to draw a car, I would normally draw
Yeah.
a sedan first. So there's a lot of emotional connect that a sedan also brings in.
Mhm.
From an Indian perspective, the sedan body style itself still is 12 to 14% of the entire market. 12 to 14% of the entire segment means around 4 lakh cars a year. Yeah. But if I come to the premium mid-size sedan segment,
Mhm.
where we are bringing the Virtus, that is something which has lacked options and choices for customers. With the Virtus, we are now bringing in a world-class package into that segment, which will reignite the segment,
Mm. Do
basically.
you think it will complement the strategy and culminate into numbers, volumes that you are
Of
basically looking
course,
at?
you know,
5% market share 2025.
Yeah, as a group, we are targeting 5%, but for Volkswagen brand, we are looking at a long-term target of 3% market share. Definitely, it will complement our strategy.
Mhm.
If you look at the customers who opt for a brand like us, which is a premium aspirational brand, and that's how we position ourselves, these two products go hand in hand.
Mhm.
If I look at how the market has developed over the last 1.5, 2 years, we see a lot of movement towards personal mobility. Okay,
That's right.
and when I say personal mobility, it is also in families who are now opting for additional cars in their family. And that is where these two products complement. Because if you have two cars in a family, you would rather have one body style or two different body styles
Mhm.
rather than having two SUVs or two notchbacks or two sedans or two hatchbacks for that matter. So that is where the opportunity is, and that is where I think the Virtus will be a very very viable option for
How do you think
customers.
the pricing will also? That is key,
Yeah,
right, for the
yeah,
success.
definitely. Pricing. See, our positioning has always been premium.
Mhm.
Okay, but that premiumness is not always about price. It is about what kind of a package do you provide to customers. And I can say very confidently that the Virtus is going to be the best package in the segment. Whether it is in terms of dimensions, whether it
Mhm.
is in terms of features, whether it is in terms of performance, it is actually going to redefine what a premium mid-size sedan, is how people look at a premium mid-size sedan, right? So that's how this product is positioned. I think it's a very very strong statement in that segment.
Any learnings that you can draw from, the newcomers in the Indian market? You have
Yeah,
been a long-standing
yeah.
player in India. We have seen others retreating.
Hmm.
Now we have seen Kia and MG Motors
Yeah,
offering at a different price point. They have been able to garner subsequent market share.
yeah.
What has worked in their favor? Are you positioning yourself different?
I think to every brand their own.
Mhm.
So everybody has their own plans. Everybody has their own strengths. What we as a Volkswagen brand have to play on is our global strengths of staying true to our DNA.
Right.
Uh, whether it's safety, build quality, or fun to drive experience. I think we have our own positioning in the market. We have our own unique proposition, and we would like to stay true to that. If that means having a premium positioning in the market, so be it. I think we are more or less comfortable with that positioning, and that's how we see ourselves.
All right. I'm going to come to where everyone's on some same place, EV strategy.
Yeah.
You know, Also the brand has also been sort of associated with you're too late to the party.
Hmm.
Now, EV is something where everyone is in the same space. How do you aim to target and capture the market share?
See, it's true to some extent, but if you look at EVs or battery electric vehicles, we are the world leaders right now. If I look at 2021 performance in terms of BEVs, we sold close to 380,000 cars worldwide, BEVs. So we have one of the widest portfolios of electric vehicles in the world, and we are the leaders in electric mobility, especially in the mass segment. Now, when we come to India, okay, in India, I see the mass electrification taking place only in the second half of the decade. And we as a brand have to prepare for it. Good for us is, or the good part for us is that we work on platforms. We have a platform available, the MEB platform, and a new platform is also being developed on the
Mhm.
electric cars for the group. So we will have products which we can take off the shelf and bring to India. What is important is to have a complete view on how electrification is going to take place. People are only talking about, let's say, the product, you know, but as a company, we have very clearly said that we are focusing on being net zero by 2050. And when you say net zero, you have to also look at what is the source of electricity that is being used for cars. How are your cars going through their life cycle? How are the batteries being disposed? So this entire ecosystem has to be thought through before we go into mass electrification,
Mhm.
right? So mass electrification, as I said, will happen from our brand at least in the second half of the decade. But in the
But
meantime, we have to
why
prepare.
not test the market?
Yeah, of course. That's what I'm saying. In the meantime, we have to test the market. So for that purpose, this year we are planning to bring a test fleet into India of our global product portfolio on electrics. Try it out, see what are the challenges, what needs to be changed in those cars, and then bring in limited volumes of our global portfolio through the FBU route. Yeah,
Okay, sorry, go on.
yeah, and before we go into the mass electrification, which has to be local.
Right. And lastly, would we understand, are you looking at other forms of cleaner mobility solutions as well in India? CNG is a hit.
Yeah.
What do you think about other forms of clean
So,
mobility?
we continue to explore all those options. CNG is something which is an interesting technology, but you have to imagine that CNG is more or less adopted in the lower price points.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a challenge. How do you actually bring in CNG into cars when you're trying to position yourself as premium? Having said that, these experiments and these mobility options continue to be explored by us from a
Or
development
a, or
point
a
of view.
hybrid.
Hybrid, I would classify it along with EVs. So EVs,
Okay.
PHEVs, these are all part of the whole electrification thing.
Mhm. Give me a sense of how the next 2 years going to look for the company in terms of launches. What are the key segments you're going to
So I
target?
think, as I said, our product portfolio is very new. We have
Yeah.
just entered with 3 new products.
Right.
So next 2 years is going to be about focusing on these products.
Okay.
Yeah.
In terms of categories, new categories, are you looking?
I think these are brand new categories we have just entered. Yeah, we are talking about world premiere of a car in a segment that we are just entering. So I think this is quite new.
All right, Ashish. Pleasure speaking with you. Thank you so much for your time speaking to Bloomberg
Thank you,
Quint.
Nishant. Thank you.